The African night falls like a black velvet blanket over the plains of Botswana. In the savannas of southern Africa, where life and death dance an eternal waltz, the nocturnal sounds begin their macabre symphony. The distant roar of a lion echoes through the hills, while the sinister laughter of hyenas responds like a demonic chorus. Here, in lands where few humans dare to tread, each breath could be your last. Under the starlit sky, a group of lionesses rests after an exhausting day of hunting. They belong to the Central Botswana Pride, a family of 9 young and strong females, protected by 2 imposing males. These savannas are their territory, their home, their kingdom. But in a world where survival is conquered with blood and courage, even kings must defend their crowns at every dawn. Among these lionesses, one stands out for her fierce determination. Her name is Matsumi, the huntress, and her amber eyes shine with an intensity that few predators possess. She is young, agile, lethal. Matsumi doesn't yet know motherhood, but nature is already preparing her destiny. A destiny that will be marked by a tragedy so profound, it will change not only her life, but the entire power dynamic of the region. The 2 males of the pride are brothers, dark-maned giants who patrol the borders like relentless sentinels. One of them carries a name that will soon echo across the African continent and beyond. His name is Antwandu Mela, he who spits fire, and his brother is Mande, protector of the marshlands. Together, these 2 warriors form an unbreakable shield around their family. But what no one knows yet is that one of these brothers will become a legend, feared and respected throughout the animal kingdom as the most ruthless hyena killer the world has ever seen. Tonight, however, the peace of the pride is about to be shattered. In the darkness, moving like ghosts between the tall grass, a clan of spotted hyenas approaches. They number over 40, led by a battle-scarred matriarch whose cunning is matched only by her cruelty. These scavengers have grown bold, too bold. They've been stealing kills, terrorizing the pride, pushing boundaries that should never be crossed. The scent of death hangs heavy in the air. An elephant has died nearby, and the hyenas have gathered for the feast. Their bone-chilling cackles pierce the night, a sound that makes even the bravest animals shudder. The lions hear this demonic chorus and know exactly what it means. The spotted devils are celebrating too early, too loudly. They've forgotten one crucial detail. They are in lion territory, and lions do not forgive trespassers. Before we continue with this incredible story, if you love dramatic wildlife documentaries that show nature at its rawest and most real, please hit that like button right now and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to ring that notification bell, because what you're about to witness is one of the most emotional and shocking lion stories ever documented. Trust me, you'll want to be notified when we release the next incredible wildlife story. Suddenly, golden shadows emerge from the darkness. The lionesses of Central Pride have arrived, and they are not here to negotiate. Led by Matsumi, they charge into the hyena clan with devastating force, scattering the scavengers like leaves in a storm. Fangs flash in the moonlight, claws rake through flesh, and chaos erupts. The elephant carcass is now under new management, but this is just the beginning of a war that will claim lives on both sides, a conflict that will push Matsumi to the very edge of survival and beyond. But as the lionesses celebrate their victory tonight, none of them can imagine the horror that awaits in the coming days. Because soon, Matsumi will give birth to 3 innocent cubs in a hidden cave. And in that same cave lurks something far more deadly than any hyena, a black cobra with venom potent enough to kill within hours. Will Matsumi's cubs survive? Will she survive? The answer will shock you to your core. Days pass in the African wilderness, where every sunrise brings new challenges and every sunset counts the survivors. The clash over the elephant carcass was just a warning shot in a war that has been brewing for months. The hyena clan, led by their scarred matriarch, refuses to back down. They outnumber the lions 3-1, and they know it. Their strategy is simple but effective: overwhelm, intimidate, and steal what they cannot kill themselves. The tensions escalate when another kill vanishes under suspicious circumstances. A massive buffalo, brought down by the lionesses after hours of exhausting pursuit, becomes the next battlefield. The pride settles in to feast on their hard-earned meal, unaware that dozens of glowing eyes are watching from the shadows. The hyenas are gathering, circling like vultures, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. When the attack comes, it's overwhelming. The hyena clan rushes in from all sides, their maniacal laughter filling the air like a nightmare come to life. There are simply too many of them. The young lionesses, including Matsumi, fight bravely but find themselves separated, isolated, vulnerable. Each lioness faces multiple attackers, snapping jaws and slashing teeth coming from every direction. This is exactly what the hyenas want: divide and conquer. But the scavengers have made a fatal miscalculation. They've forgotten about the two dark-maned brothers who rule this territory. Mande arrives first, crashing through the tall grass like a freight train. His roar shakes the very ground, a sound of pure rage and power that stops every hyena in their tracks. In seconds, the tide of battle shifts. What was a chaotic melee becomes a panicked retreat as 40 hyenas scatter before a single male lion. The message is clear and brutal: challenge the lionesses and you'll answer to their protectors. The hyenas slink away into the darkness, their tails between their legs, their stolen meal abandoned. But their matriarch watches from a distance, her scarred face twisted with something that looks almost like calculation. She's learning, adapting, planning. This war is far from over, and she knows that patience is a weapon too. As peace returns to the pride, Matsumi slips away from the group. She's been feeling restless lately, driven by instincts she doesn't fully understand yet. She travels north, toward the rocky hills that mark the boundary of their territory. Something is calling her there, some ancient knowledge encoded in her DNA. She needs privacy, security, a place where new life can begin away from prying eyes and dangerous predators. After hours of searching, she finds it, a small cave nestled in the hillside, hidden by thick brush and accessible only through a narrow entrance. It's perfect. The walls are solid rock, the interior is dry and sheltered from the elements, and most importantly, it's isolated. No hyenas would think to look here. No rival lions would stumble upon it by accident. This will be her sanctuary, the birthplace of her first litter. Inside this cave, as the sun sets on another African day, Matsumi gives birth to 3 tiny cubs. They are blind, helpless, and utterly dependent on their mother for survival. She cleans them gently, her rough tongue a strange comfort to these new lives. They mewl softly, already searching for milk, already fighting to survive in a world that will test them at every turn. Matsumi's heart swells with a love she has never known before, fierce, protective, absolute. But what Matsumi doesn't know, what she cannot possibly know, is that this cave has another resident. Deep in the cracks of the rock wall, in the cool darkness where sunlight never reaches, a black cobra has made its home for years. And right now, at this very moment, that serpent is returning from its hunt. In less than 72 hours, this cave will become a chamber of horrors, and Matsumi will face a nightmare that no amount of courage or strength can prepare her for. The countdown to tragedy has already begun. The first 2 days of motherhood are pure bliss for Matsumi. Her 3 cubs are growing stronger by the hour, their tiny bodies gaining weight as they nurse constantly. She watches them with wonder, marveling at their miniature paws, their soft spotted coats, the way they tumble over each other in clumsy play. These are her children, her legacy, her reason to fight harder than ever before. For the first time in her life, Matsumi understands what it truly means to be willing to die for something. But the demands of motherhood are relentless. The cubs need constant feeding, and milk production requires enormous amounts of energy. Matsumi's body is burning through reserves faster than she anticipated. Hunger gnaws at her belly like a living thing, and she knows she cannot ignore it much longer. She must hunt, and soon. Leaving her babies alone terrifies her, but staying and starving helps no one. This is the impossible choice that every wild mother must face. On the third morning, Matsumi makes her decision. She nuzzles each cub one final time, memorizing their scent, listening to their soft mewls of contentment. Then she slips out of the cave into the golden dawn light. Her plan is simple. Find something small and easy to kill nearby, eat quickly, and return within hours. Maybe a young impala or a warthog piglet. Something that won't require the whole pride's assistance. Just enough to keep her strength up while her cubs are so vulnerable. Meanwhile, something ancient and deadly is making its way home. The black cobra has spent the night hunting in the rocky outcrops several hundred meters from the cave. It's been successful. Its belly is full of rodent prey, and now instinct drives it back to its lair. The serpent moves with liquid grace through the grass, its scales gleaming like polished obsidian in the morning sun. It has lived in that cave for 3 years, long before Matsumi ever discovered it. And it's coming back right now. The cobra enters the cave through a crack in the rear wall, sliding silently into the cool darkness that is its home. But immediately something is wrong. The cave smells different, musky, mammalian, threatening. And there are sounds. High-pitched mewling sounds that trigger the snake's defensive instincts. The cobra's forked tongue flickers out, tasting the air, analyzing the threat. 3 small, warm-blooded creatures are moving around, dangerously close to its burrow entrance. The cubs, now 3 days old, have begun to explore beyond their small nest. Their eyes are still sealed shut, but their other senses are developing rapidly. They crawl awkwardly across the cave floor, bumping into rocks and each other, making soft, chirping sounds. One of them, the boldest, ventures too close to the dark crevice where the cobra has emerged. The serpent rises up, hood flaring, ready to defend its territory against these strange invaders. I need to pause the story here for just a moment, because what happens next is extremely difficult to watch. If you're a parent, if you've ever loved anything with all your heart, this next part will break you. But it's also a crucial reminder of how brutal and unforgiving nature can be. If this story is touching your heart, please leave a comment below telling us about your own pets or the animals you love. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it now. We share real, unfiltered wildlife stories that most channels are afraid to show. At that exact moment, Matsumi returns to the cave entrance. She's caught a small hare, not much, but enough for now. But as she approaches, every instinct in her body suddenly screams danger. She drops the hare and rushes inside, her heart pounding with primal fear. The scene that greets her is every mother's worst nightmare. The black cobra is coiled in the center of the cave floor, positioned between her and her cubs. Its head is raised, hood fully extended, and its dark eyes fix on her with cold reptilian focus. Matsumi lunges forward to protect her babies, a roar of fury erupting from her throat. But she's too late. In the split second it takes her to close the distance, the cobra strikes not once, not twice, but 4 times with lightning speed. 3 strikes hit the cubs who stumbled too close. The 4th strike, the one that will change everything, sinks its fangs deep into Matsumi's front leg as she tries to shield her children. The venom is already spreading through her bloodstream like liquid fire. And in the African wilderness, a cobra bite means almost certain death. The question isn't if Matsumi will die, it's how long she'll suffer before the end comes. The venom works fast, terrifyingly fast. Within minutes, Matsumi feels her leg beginning to swell, the pain spreading like wildfire through her muscle tissue. The cobra has already retreated back into its crevice, its job done, its territory defended. But the damage is catastrophic. Matsumi tries to move toward her cubs, but her body is already betraying her. Her vision blurs, her legs tremble, and a wave of nausea crashes over her with devastating force. The three cubs lie motionless on the cave floor. Their tiny bodies show no signs of life, no movement, no breath. The cobra's venom, designed to kill creatures many times their size, has stopped their hearts within minutes. Matsumi nudges them desperately with her nose, trying to wake them, trying to deny what her instincts already know to be true. But there is no response. Her babies, her perfect, innocent babies, are gone. The grief that washes over her is almost as overwhelming as the venom coursing through her veins. But Matsumi doesn't have time to mourn. Her own survival now hangs by a thread. The venom is attacking her nervous system, her muscles, her very ability to breathe. Her body temperature is spiking dangerously high, and with it comes a thirst unlike anything she has ever experienced. It's not just thirst, it's a burning, consuming need for water that dominates every thought. Legends say that when a cobra bites, the victim could drink an entire lake and still die of thirst. Matsumi is about to discover if those legends are true. She staggers out of the cave, leaving her dead cubs behind in the darkness. Every step is agony. Her swollen leg drags uselessly, her head spins with vertigo, and her tongue feels like sand in her mouth. But somewhere deep in her brain, past the pain and the grief, survival instinct takes over. Water. She needs water. The nearest waterhole is over 2 kilometers away through rough terrain. In her condition, it might as well be on the moon, but she has no choice. Stop moving and die here, or keep going and maybe, just maybe, survive. The journey is pure hell. Matsumi collapses twice in the first 100 meters, her body simply giving out beneath her. Each time she forces herself back up, driven by something beyond reason, beyond logic. The African sun climbs higher in the sky, turning the savanna into an oven. Her breathing becomes labored, each breath a conscious effort. She can feel her heart racing, struggling to pump blood through vessels that are shutting down one by one. Hours pass like decades. What should have been a 30-minute walk becomes an odyssey of suffering. Matsumi's vision narrows to a tunnel, her world reduced to the next rock, the next patch of shade, the next 5 meters of ground. She's no longer thinking, no longer grieving. She's just moving, one agonizing step at a time. Vultures begin circling overhead, nature's undertakers waiting patiently for the inevitable. They've seen this before. They know how this story usually ends. When Matsumi finally reaches the waterhole, she collapses at its edge and drinks. She drinks like she's never drunk before, her body desperate to flush out the toxins, to cool the inferno raging inside her. She drinks until her stomach distends, until she can barely move from the weight of the water. And then she drinks more. Other animals give her a wide berth, sensing the sickness on her, the smell of death that clings to her like a shadow. For 4 days and 4 nights, Matsumi remains at the waterhole, caught in limbo between this world and the next. She drifts in and out of consciousness, her body fighting the battle of its life against the cobra's venom. There are moments when she seems to stabilize, when the tremors calm and her breathing eases. But then the toxins surge again, and she's back at death's door, her body racked with convulsions. No human doctors, no anti-venom, no help is coming. This is survival in its purest, most brutal form. Minnie. On the 5th morning, something remarkable happens. Matsumi's eyes open fully for the first time in days, and they are clear, focused, aware. She stands on shaky legs, testing her weight. The swelling has gone down. The fever has broken. Against all odds, against nature itself, she has survived. But her ordeal is far from over, because now she must return to that cave to face what's left of her cubs. And what she finds there will be another knife to her heart. The hyenas have already discovered the bodies. Those same laughing devils who have terrorized her pride have now consumed her children, leaving nothing behind but dark stains on the cave floor. The question is, will this break Matsumi forever, or will it forge her into something harder, colder, and far more dangerous than before? 2 weeks have passed since the tragedy in the cave. Matsumi has physically recovered from the cobra's venom, but the emotional scars run deeper than any poison could reach. She moves through the world like a ghost of her former self, hunting mechanically, eating without appetite, existing but not truly living. When she returned to find her cubs' bodies gone, devoured by the very hyenas she despises, something inside her changed. The grief transformed into something colder, harder, something dangerous. She rejoins her pride, seeking comfort in familiar faces and the rhythms of group life. Her sisters greet her with gentle nuzzles, sensing her pain even if they don't know its full extent. The pride has continued their daily struggles in her absence, hunting, defending territory, surviving. Life in the African wilderness waits for no one, not even a grieving mother. And Matsumi knows she must push forward, must channel her loss into something productive. The alternative is to surrender to despair, and that is not in her nature. On her first day back with the pride, Matsumi demonstrates exactly why she earned her name. She single-handedly brings down a young warthog in a display of savage efficiency that leaves even the experienced hunters impressed. The kill is quick, brutal, and necessary. The pride hasn't eaten well in days, and this meal, though small, will tide them over. As the lionesses gather to feed, there's almost a sense of normalcy returning. Almost. But of course, the hyenas won't let them eat in peace. The spotted devils have been emboldened by weeks of successful raids and growing numbers. Their clan now includes several new mothers with cubs of their own, and the matriarch's leadership has never been stronger. They've learned that if they attack in sufficient numbers, even lions will eventually back down. It's a dangerous lesson, one that's making them reckless and overconfident. The hyenas descend on the warthog kill like a plague. There are at least 20 of them, maybe more, their cackling laughter echoing across the savanna. They surround the pride in a tightening circle, darting in and out, testing the lion's defenses, looking for weakness. The younger lionesses begin to panic, confused by the chaos, overwhelmed by the sheer numbers. This is exactly what the hyenas want. Create confusion, separate the pride, steal the meal. Matsumi refuses to retreat. While her sisters back away from the onslaught, she stands her ground over the warthog carcass, her lips curled back in a snarl of pure defiance. She's not running anymore. Not from hyenas, not from tragedy, not from anything. She lunges at the nearest scavenger, catching it off guard with her ferocity. The hyena yelps and scrambles away, surprised by this level of aggression. For a moment, Matsumi holds the line alone, a single lioness against a mob. But numbers eventually win. The hyenas coordinate their attack, coming from multiple angles simultaneously. They force Matsumi away from the kill, separate her from the rest of the pride, and in the chaos, they snatch the warthog and drag it away into the darkness. The lionesses are left with nothing, no food, wounded pride, and growing fear. If this continues, the hyenas will completely dominate this territory. Something has to change, and soon. As the pride regroups after the humiliating defeat, something terrible happens in the pre-dawn darkness. A group of nomadic lionesses, desperate and hungry, have been tracking a zebra herd through the night. The chase leads them directly into Central Pride's territory, a boundary crossing that never ends well. In the confusion of hundreds of stampeding zebras and multiple lion groups, Matsumi and her sisters suddenly find themselves face to face with hostile strangers. The fight that erupts is vicious and chaotic. Matsumi manages to escape with minor injuries, her experience and speed saving her life. But one of her sisters, one of the lionesses who comforted her when she returned from her ordeal, isn't so lucky. The nomadic females overwhelm her, attacking with savage brutality until she lies broken and dying on the blood-soaked ground. By the time Mande and Antwandu Mela arrive to drive off the invaders, it's already too late. Matsumi's sister takes her last breath as the sun rises over the savanna. And if losing her cubs wasn't enough, if surviving a cobra bite wasn't enough, now Matsumi must watch as the hyenas discover her sister's body. What happens next will make your blood run cold, because these scavengers have no respect for the dead, not even for apex predators. They're about to cross a line that will finally unleash the full fury of the two dark-maned brothers. The sight is unbearable, even by the harsh standards of the African wilderness. Matsumi's sister lies motionless in the morning light, her beautiful golden coat matted with blood and dirt. The pride circles the body, confused and grieving in their own way. Lions don't have funerals or rituals, but they understand loss. They understand that their family is smaller now, weaker now, more vulnerable than before. And they can do nothing but accept it and move on. But the hyenas have no such respect for the dead. Within an hour of the lioness's death, the clan arrives like a dark tide. They've smelled blood on the wind, and to them, meat is meat. Whether it comes from prey or predator makes no difference. The matriarch leads the charge, her scarred face twisted into what almost looks like a grin. This is the ultimate insult, the final boundary crossed. They're not just stealing kills anymore. They're going to consume one of the pride's own fallen members. Matsumi roars in outrage and rushes forward, trying to defend her sister's body from desecration. She fights with desperate fury, landing several solid blows that send hyenas tumbling. But there are too many of them, and they're frenzied now, driven by the smell of fresh meat and the knowledge that they outnumber the lions present. They swarm around the carcass, tearing into it with their powerful jaws, laughing their horrible laugh as they feast. Matsumi can only watch in horror, forced back by sheer numbers. This is the moment when something inside the pride's protectors finally snaps. Mande has been patrolling the northern marshlands when the commotion reaches his ears. He recognizes the sounds of distress from his pride, the specific tone of desperation that means something is terribly wrong. He abandons his patrol and runs, his massive body covering ground with shocking speed for an animal his size. But it's his brother who arrives first, exploding from the bush like a golden missile. Antwandu Mela has earned his name. He who spits fire, through years of defending this territory. But what witnesses see on this day goes beyond normal lion aggression. This is rage in its purest form. He doesn't roar a warning. He doesn't posture or try to scare them away. He simply attacks with lethal intent, targeting not the nearest hyena, but the one that matters most. His eyes lock onto the matriarch, the scarred female who leads this clan, and he charges directly at her. The matriarch realizes her mistake too late. She's been so focused on the feast, so confident in her numbers, that she's let her guard down. Antwandu Mela crashes into her with the force of a freight train, his jaws clamping down on her spine before she can even turn to run. The sound of vertebrae snapping is audible even over the chaos of the fleeing clan. In less than 10 seconds, the most powerful hyena in the region is paralyzed, her back legs useless, her reign over. What you're witnessing right now is extremely rare footage of lion-hyena warfare at its most brutal. This is nature without filters, without mercy, without happy endings for everyone. If you're finding this story as intense as we did when researching it, please hit that share button and send this to someone who loves real wildlife documentaries. And let us know in the comments, do you think Antwandu Mela was justified in what he did? Or did he go too far? We want to hear your thoughts on this incredible moment. The other hyenas scatter in absolute panic, abandoning their leader without hesitation. They've never seen anything like this before. Lions usually chase them away, maybe land a few bites, but this male is trying to kill. Antwandu Mela releases the matriarch momentarily, not out of mercy, but to pursue another target. He catches a younger female, delivers a crushing bite, and tosses her aside like a rag doll. The message is clear and terrifying. The rules have changed. From this moment forward, hyenas will die for their transgressions. The paralyzed matriarch lies in the dust, unable to move her back legs, her eyes wide with shock and pain. Her clan has abandoned her, fleeing into the bush to save themselves. She tries to drag herself away using only her front legs, but she knows the truth. She's finished. Within minutes, her breathing becomes labored. Within an hour, she dies, not from the injuries themselves, but from the shock and internal damage. Her daughter, a young female named Princess, who killed her own siblings to inherit leadership, watches from a distance as her mother takes her final breath. Everything Princess fought for, every murder she committed to secure her position as future matriarch, has just been erased. And the hyena clan, now leaderless and broken, faces an uncertain future. But Antwandu Mela isn't finished, not even close. His taste for hyena blood has just been awakened, and he's about to become the most feared lion in all of Botswana. The death of their matriarch throws the hyena clan into complete chaos. In hyena society, leadership is everything. It determines feeding order, territory boundaries, and the entire social hierarchy. Without a clear matriarch, the clan begins to fracture. Fights break out between senior females, each trying to establish dominance. Princess, who should have inherited leadership through her mother's bloodline, finds herself with no allies and no power. The other females remember how she killed her siblings, and they have no intention of following a kinslayer. Days turn into weeks, and the power struggle intensifies. Finally, a new matriarch emerges, a large, battle-scarred female with years of experience and a ruthless streak that rivals the previous leader. She's older than Princess, stronger, and commands the respect of the clan through sheer intimidation. Princess is demoted to the lowest rank in the hierarchy, forced to eat last, pushed aside, treated like an omega. Everything she murdered for has been taken away. The irony is brutal and complete. But the new matriarch has learned nothing from her predecessor's death. She's arrogant, overconfident, and determined to prove her dominance over the territory. Within days of assuming leadership, she begins pushing boundaries again, testing the lions, seeing how far she can go. She marks territory deep inside Lionlands, defecates on Mande's scent markers, and leads her clan in bold daytime raids. It's as if she believes she's invincible, or perhaps she simply doesn't respect the threat that the two brothers represent. The confrontation comes on a scorching afternoon near the marshlands. Mande is resting in the shade when he notices the new matriarch and several clan members deliberately trespassing into his territory. They're not hunting, not passing through. They're actively taunting him, marking over his territorial markers, erasing his claim to this land. It's a direct challenge, an insult that cannot be ignored. Mande rises to his feet, his dark mane bristling with anger, and begins walking toward them with deliberate intent. The new matriarch doesn't retreat. Instead, she actually moves toward Mande, calling more clan members to her side. Within minutes, over a dozen hyenas have gathered. Emboldened by their leader's confidence, they begin their intimidation tactics, circling, darting in for quick bites, testing his defenses. The matriarch herself gets dangerously close, snapping at his hindquarters, trying to provoke a reaction. She's treating him like prey, not predator. It's a fatal miscalculation. Matsumi and several other lionesses arrive, drawn by the commotion. They move to support Mande, but the hyenas are relentless, their numbers growing by the minute. The situation is rapidly spiraling into a full-scale battle, with lions outnumbered nearly 4-1. The new matriarch senses victory within reach. She calls out to her clan, rallying them for a coordinated assault. This is her moment to cement her leadership, to prove she's even better than the previous matriarch. She has no idea that death is sprinting toward her at 40 miles per hour. Before I show you what happens next, I need you to understand something. What you're about to see has made Antwandu Mela a legend across wildlife documentaries worldwide. Researchers have studied this male for years, trying to understand his unique behavior. If you want to see the incredible conclusion to this story, make sure you're subscribed because you won't believe what happens. And please drop a comment telling us, what's the most dramatic wildlife moment you've ever witnessed? We love hearing your stories. Ant Wandumela emerges from a thicket with such explosive speed that several hyenas don't even see him coming. He's been tracking this confrontation through the bush, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And unlike his brother, who fights defensively, Ant Wandumela hunts hyenas the way most lions hunt antelope. He doesn't just want to scare them, he wants them dead. His first target is, predictably, the new matriarch who has made herself so visible, so vulnerable. The matriarch turns to run, but she's half a second too slow. Ant Wandumela's jaws close around her neck with crushing force, and he doesn't let go. He drags her down, pins her with his massive weight, and delivers the killing bite with surgical precision. The entire attack takes less than 15 seconds from first contact to final breath. The hyena clan watches in absolute horror as their second leader in 3 weeks dies at the feet of the same male who killed the first. This is no longer just territorial defense. This is a statement, a declaration of war. And as the surviving hyenas flee in terror, leaving their dead leader behind, Ant Wandumela stands over the body and roars. It's a sound that will echo across the savanna for miles, a sound that will haunt the hyena clan for generations. The legend of the hyena killer has just been born. But the question remains, how many more will die before this war finally ends? The hyena clan is shattered beyond recognition. 2 matriarchs dead in less than a month, both killed by the same male lion, both in brutal displays of dominance that have left the survivors traumatized. The remaining females refuse to challenge for leadership. They've seen what happens to those who rise too high, who draw too much attention from the dark-maned brothers. The clan that once numbered over 40 strong has splintered into smaller groups, scattered across the territory, avoiding lion contact at all costs. Princess, the young female who murdered her own siblings for power, now wanders the margins of hyena society. She has no family, no allies, no future as a leader. Sometimes she follows the fragmented clan at a distance, eating scraps they leave behind. Other times she ventures out alone, taking desperate risks that more experienced hyenas would never attempt. Her story is a cautionary tale written in blood. Ambition without wisdom leads only to ruin. She will likely die young, alone, unmourned. Meanwhile, Matsumi has found healing in an unexpected way. 3 weeks after losing her sister, she mates again with Ant Wandumela. Nature's programming drives her forward, giving her another chance at motherhood, another opportunity to build the family that was so cruelly taken from her. This time, she will be more careful, more vigilant, more experienced. The tragedy with the cobra has taught her lessons that no amount of instinct could provide. She will not make the same mistakes twice. The pride itself has grown stronger through adversity. The constant pressure from hyenas forced them to become more coordinated, more aggressive, more united as a family unit. They no longer scatter when outnumbered. They stand their ground and call for their protectors. The young lionesses have matured rapidly, learning that survival requires courage as much as it requires caution. Every kill they make now is defended with a ferocity that the hyenas have learned to respect and fear. As for the 2 brothers, their reputation has spread far beyond their immediate territory. Wildlife researchers who study this region have documented over a dozen hyena kills attributed to Ant Wandumela alone, an almost unheard of number for a male lion. Most lions will kill a hyena in self-defense or to protect cubs, but Ant Wandumela actively hunts them, targeting clan leaders and aggressive individuals with what almost seems like strategic intelligence. He's become something rare in the animal kingdom, a specialist predator who has chosen other predators as his prey. This incredible story of survival, loss, revenge, and redemption is based on real, documented events in the wilds of Botswana. These aren't actors or trained animals. This is raw nature, showing us both its cruelty and its beauty. If this story moved you, if it made you feel something real, please share it with friends and family who appreciate authentic wildlife content. Hit that like button if you want to see more stories like this one. Your support helps us bring these incredible real-life dramas to audiences around the world. Mande continues his role as the quieter, more measured protector. While his brother has become famous for his hyena-killing prowess, Mande focuses on border patrols, teaching the younger lions, and maintaining the day-to-day security of their territory. Together, the brothers form a perfect partnership. One is the sword, the other is the shield. Their pride thrives under this dual protection, growing in numbers and strength with each passing season. The hyenas, for their part, have become more cautious, more strategic, less aggressive than they were in the days before their matriarchs fell. They still exist in the territory, still scavenge and hunt and survive, but they give the central pride a wide berth now. The cost of their previous arrogance has been paid in blood and broken spines. The new generation of hyenas grows up hearing stories of the fire-spitting lion who kills clan leaders, and those stories keep them humble, keep them careful. But this isn't the end of Antwandu Mela's story, not by a long shot. After the events you've just witnessed, this legendary male went on to kill many more hyenas, defending his territory with an intensity that wildlife experts still struggle to explain. His final fate, years later, is both tragic and poetic in ways you won't believe. I've created another complete documentary covering the rest of his life, including battles you haven't seen, rivals you haven't met, and an ending that will stay with you long after the video ends. Thank you so much for watching this emotional journey with us. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel for more incredible real wildlife stories, and hit that bell so you never miss our next documentary. Until next time, remember, in the African wilderness, every sunrise brings new battles, every sunset counts the survivors, and legends are written not in books, but in blood and courage on the endless savanna. See you in the next story.